What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and I apologize for the hiatus between videos. So, I had some Warriors Summer League footage lying around, so I decided why not do an offensive breakdown, and I got a good taste of what Steve Kerr is starting to implement in Golden State. They run some of the triangle, but definitely not exclusively like New York, so it was interesting. Let's get to it. Here's Steve Kerr, and it's interesting because he actually coached the Summer League team. Golden State runs the set play single double, where a wing will have the option of running off a double screen or a single screen, and here Justin Holiday gets an open look. When Holiday doesn't have a shot or lane to drive off this screen, the last screener, in this case James McAdoo, the most common action is for him to seal for a post up, which they get, but McAdoo travels. And folks, this is what happens when the screener makes little or no contact. Now let's talk about a play I've talked about in the past called motion weak, which starts with a point guard to wing pass, then the point guard will swing it to a big man on top, the ball will go back to the point guard, then the meat of the play occurs as the big man will receive a cross screen in the lane, and then the wing who set that screen will receive a down screen to the top, and they don't get anything immediately, but they can flow into a screen and roll and get a foul. Motion weak again, and I have to say, this play was ran horribly throughout this whole game. And here the big man would usually pass it to the point guard on top, but instead he dribbles at him trying to execute a screen and roll. No one is on the same page and they get a travel. Again, after the big man on top makes his pass to the point guard on top, he's supposed to wait to set a down screen. Instead he tries to execute a screen and roll. This confuses everyone and they turn it over again. Miscommunication is the story, as notice how Aaron Craft will pass it to the wing and then shallow cut to get the ball back on top like motion weak, but no one catches on that he's actually trying to run the play and they turn it over. And again, just awful stuff, as Holiday doesn't even set the cross screen he's supposed to, they just flow into meaningless screen and roll, and once again they turn it over. At least on this possession involving motion weak, they actually run through the whole play, but again they turn it over. Let's move on to screen and rolls, and here when the defense goes under the screen and roll, the guard can flow into an open three-pointer. Here, Golden State gets middle on this pick and roll, but Holiday must attack Len to make him decide to step up to stop Holiday or stop the roll man. Instead, Holiday jacks up a long inefficient two. And here's a set I'm a fan of, as they'll zipper cut a guard to the top and immediately flow into a screen and roll, and here to get a layup out of it. Now let's talk about a thing called pinch post, which often comes in the natural flow of an offense, and it's when a guard passes it to a big man at the high post and runs around looking for a handoff, and here they execute it to perfection as they get a layup. The big man can also fake the handoff and attack on his own. Now if the handoff isn't open, the guard running around the pinch post will cut to the near side corner and they'll execute a screen and roll and a two-man game, but here they simply make one pass, no screen and roll, and they jack up a bad shot. When the handoff isn't open, McAdoo should look to execute a two-man game. Instead he passes it to the weak side and they jack up a bad three. Again, pinch post is covered, but this time they do execute that screen and roll with the same two players. The problem? Ice defense beats all, which Phoenix does, and they force a long two, but McAdoo hits. But now to what you have all been waiting for, the triangle, and here they form it, and the first option is the pass to the center down low. The players on the strong side will cut through, and they hit the corner cutter, but it gets blocked. Again, the first option as they hit the center and cut through. That's Summer League, folks. Now the second option, where they'll pass it to the guard on top, and that triggers pinch post. And here when they don't get anything immediately, they nicely flow into that two-man game and get a tip-in dunk. Again, the second option, and when the high post is being overplayed, he nicely back cuts and gets a layup. Beautiful. I did not see them run the third option, so let's move on to the fourth. That starts with a corner pass, then the center will come up and screen the ball and they get a layup. Again, the fourth option, and Holiday gets a good look at a three-pointer. Well, there you have it, guys. And for you Warrior fans that did not see my last triangle offense video with the Knicks running it, make sure to check it out and you'll gain a better understanding of the triangle. And one thing I should have made clear at the beginning of my video is that this is Summer League. These are fringe NBA players trying to run a complex NBA offense. The execution was pretty poor, but once Kerr gets to teach the actual roster and they get more practice time, you'll see things start getting better. I think Kerr will be a fine NBA coach, though I haven't taken a look at his defense. Now, he has a lot to live up to because I thought Mark Jackson didn't deserve to be fired. I thought he was a top 10 NBA coach, but that's a different story for a different day. See you next time.